What's going on, guys? This is Joe Young coming at you with an update video. Today I'm going to be talking about my Discus pair. I've placed them in the tank. It's been cycled and they're in here for approximately a month. This was my original pair that I actually tried to breed and spawn fry in the tank. Originally this tank was like a planet tank. You guys can go back in the really old playlist. It was probably like two years ago. I gave it a try. Got to probably week 5 before, a lot of the fry just started dying. A few things that happened was the ammonia spiked in that tank because there was so much fry, and I was feeding them like twice a day to try to get them really big. I didn't do enough water changes, so this time around I went ahead and did a bare bottom tank so that debris wouldn't get stuck in to build up ammonia, and also it just makes cleaning a lot easier. So yesterday, the female, the one on top there, and the male is the red one, she laid eggs, but this time she laid a very small batch. I'm not really surprised because she hasn't laid for probably like 3 months with this male here, so it's kind of getting back into the groove of things, I guess. But she laid like a really weird just X pattern on the cone. Very little, so I mean it looked like there was only maybe like 15 eggs or maybe 20 eggs. At most. So yesterday I gave the female maybe like 3 hours or so to do her thing, and then I noticed that she stopped laying and she was really just fanning the eggs. I went ahead and put a mesh to block this. This is just a plastic mesh that I zip tied together, and it kind of floated, so I went ahead and grabbed 2 rocks, zip tied it to the rocks, and just placed it down. Also, to avoid the eggs from getting kind of fungusy or growth of fungus, I went ahead and aimed the return towards the cone at the eggs so that it will get some nice flow while the parents are either eating or just roaming around and they maybe just forgot about the eggs and they can't fan it every day. So probably sometime tomorrow night these eggs will hatch into wiggler, and wiggler they'll still be attached to the cones. I'll probably another day before they can actually free swim and attach to the parents. If the batch is successful and actually we can get these guys attached to the parents and without the parents eating them, because they haven't really spawned in a long time, I'm afraid that they probably may eat them or think that they're food. So we'll see what happens on this first batch. So a success so far in the breeding project. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna probably document and film again the whole process of the fry, and probably do maybe a weekly update once they start growing so that you can kind of see the growth of the fry. And once they kind of get big enough, I will move the parents out and let this be a grow out tank for the fry. The one new addition to the tank was just some plants. I grabbed some floating plants from my other tank, water lettuce, and just tossed it in here. 1, it gives them a little bit of shade, and 2, it helps pull some of the nitrites out of the tank. Alright, so a few people were curious if the skimmer would work in fresh water. So on the first day, when there was a lot of debris and just a lot of stuff in the tank when I started the cycle, it actually worked really well. The bubbles on the skimmer went all the way from here all the way to the top into the collection chamber. But after maybe 2 days, it really bubbles like that because there's not really much going on the tank. I'm not really overfeeding the tank or anything like that, and also it's getting a 50% weekly water change, so it's fairly clean. So right now that skimmer is really just almost like a bubbler. I'm just gonna keep there just for fun and really just an experiment to see if it will work down the road when we have a little bit more fry and actually feeding a little bit more intensive. And maybe as the tank ages, it'll start pulling some surface protein and whatnot in the water. Also, I tried to add in a auto top off, but down here it's very small. And I couldn't really fit the auto top off in here, so I gotta figure out how and where I'm gonna place it. I have the equipment here all ready to hook up to a small container, but right now I'm just kind of filling it up every other day or so. So I need to figure out what I want to do with that. Alright guys, that's a quick update on the Discus pair. We'll see if we have some fry for you guys next week. If I do and they are successful, I'll do another video in terms of the first week on the fry. So stay tuned until the next update, guys. Peace. Are you looking to take on the next challenge in the planet tank hobby? Then make sure to check out the purely aquatic Wabikusa Eco Ball. It's simple, unique, and easy to care for. This is the next level in the planet tank hobby, blending immerse and submerge plants together. Stop by the store at purelyaquatic.com to buy your own Eco Ball and rare plants.